You are the creator of your reality. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? You hear it all the time. You're the creator of your reality. But what does that actually mean? Now, I'm not going to mention anything woo-woo in this video apart from this one thing. That life is woo-woo. Life is woo-woo. Reality is woo-woo. A solid is not even a solid. It's just energy. Like it's just particles vibrating really fast. And anything that is woo-woo is just something that science hasn't caught up to yet. That's why I always like to say, like, woo-woo things are just real things that actually happen that science hasn't been able to catch up to yet. The quicker you understand and accept that life is woo-woo, the better you will experience woo-woo things. Just like that saying, those who don't believe in magic never find it. Shout out to Roald Dahl for that one. Let's just break down, you are the creator of your reality. So creator, you don't really need an explanation for that one. Creator is just creating. Reality though is what needs a deeper explanation. So what is reality? Reality is what exists, but more so your experience of it. So your experience of what exists is what reality is. And the great thing about that is that we have control over our experience of reality, because it's what we perceive with beliefs and through our senses, what we hear, smell, taste, touch, see. Those are the things that we can create because we have control over. So how do you create your reality already? I'm going to tell you how. One of the ways is something called CBT. It's what CBT teaches. CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy. And basically, in a nutshell, what that is your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, actions are all intertwined. And they all affect and influence each other. So if you have a thought, that's going to influence your feelings, and your feelings are going to influence your actions and behaviors. So ultimately, when that all influences your actions and behaviors, that is influencing your reality. Because let's say you have the thought of, I feel like shit. Let's just say. You have the thought, I feel like shit. And then that feeling is going to be feelings of feeling sad, demotivated, just any feelings that come with that thought. And then as a result, as a behavior and action, you might want to go to the kitchen and eat some chocolate, eat some crisps, eat some junk food. You might go and smoke a cigarette just to make yourself feel better, because these things release dopamine. Now you're creating your own reality because you've decided to act on those thoughts, dwell on those thoughts, dwell on those feelings, take action on those feelings, etc., etc. Now you have a reality of bad habits. The next one is there's something called confirmation bias and self-fulfilling prophecy. Now they are closely related, but they're a bit different. Confirmation bias is a mental filter. Your brain notices, remembers, and gives more weight to the things that match what you already believe, while ignoring things that don't. For example, you think people are always rude, so you mostly notice when someone is rude and forget the kind interactions. And then you've got self-fulfilling prophecy, which is what happens when your beliefs or expectations actually cause the outcome you expect. For example, because you expect people to be rude, you act defensively, which makes others respond in a way that seems rude, confirming your belief. So confirmation bias shapes what you perceive, and self-fulfilling prophecy shapes what actually happens in your life. Often they work together, but one is about perception and the other one is about outcome. So that's two other sort of similar things that create your experience of reality. And then lastly, we have your RAS, which is your reticular activating system, which is a part in your brain that basically filters out important things, because we have like 60 to 70 or 80,000 thoughts every single day. And so obviously it's a lot for your brain. So your brain needs to filter all these thoughts to important thoughts and not important thoughts. And whatever you deem important is what your reticular activating system is going to filter out. So for example, if you mostly focus on the negative, your RAS system, your reticular activating system, is going to focus more and highlight and filter more negative things, because that's what you are feeding your brain to what is important. So let's play a quick game. I want you to look around the room where you are right now, or wherever you are. Look around right now, and I want you to remember and name in your head 5 things that are the color red. So I want you to look around right now and find anything that is the color red. And then I'm gonna ask you to close your eyes and name those 5 things. Cool. Now close your eyes. Now I want you to tell me 5 things that are blue, not red. You probably cannot tell me 5 things that are blue because you were focused on finding things that were red. So that is the game done. Similarly in life, when you are focused on negative things, that is all you can see, and that becomes your reality if that is what you are focused on. But if you can focus on positive things, the good out of something that people might class as negative, then you will start seeing more and more of that, and you'll see that life starts showing you more to be positive about. There are also many, obviously, ancient cultures, philosophies, traditions, religions that talk about your inner world reflecting your outer world. As above, so below, as within, so without. Not everything is logical, you know, like life really isn't logical. Like how this earth even came about, why we're here, what happens before, what happens after. Like none of these things are actually logical. So not everything has a logical or scientific answer yet. Like I know myself and others have manifested crazy things into our lives that are just unexplainable. And it's all just from shifting your internal state. But anyways, the point of this video is that you are not a victim to your reality. Like pain is inevitable, but suffering is not. Don't need to keep being a victim to your reality, because you hold the power within to experience anything. Everything is perspective. Everything is all in the mind, and everything is energy. Let me say my favorite quote. My favorite quote is, life is 10% of what happens and 90% of how you react to it. And that is just perfectly sums up that quote of you are the creator of your reality. That's what majority of us mean when we say these things. Not something tragic happens and you manifested that and it was all your fault and you attracted that, you manifested it, you created that. No, that's not what I mean anyway, and I don't think that's what anyone means when they say you create your reality. We're not saying, well, I would like to think that we are all not saying that you create disaster and all these terrible things that happen in your life, in other people's lives, but your experience of it, your reaction of it to it is all within your control. So really and truly what I'm trying to say is anything that is within your control, you have control over, and there's not really any kind of excuse around it, because you then have the power to change that. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say today. Love you. Bye.